If you're thinking about selling your home off market, you may want to consider how much money you could be leaving on the table. According to some recent research by Zillow, homes that were sold off market saw a median loss of about $30,000 in California, which is about 3.7%. Now, in a place like Orange County, where I work, where the median home value is much higher, around $1.4 million for a single family home, that same 3.7% median loss would amount to about $49,000 that you could be losing by simply selling your home off market instead of having it publicly marketed in the multiple listing service. So in this video, we're going to be talking about why homes sold off market typically sell for less and discuss some of the advantages of publicly marketing your home in the multiple listing service. I'm Tim Hamilton with StellarQuest Real Estate, and if you are thinking about buying or selling a home in Southern California, please feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. You can find all of my contact information in the description below, or you can call this phone number here, which is our office phone number, but if you try texting that, you won't be getting a response. So if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button below, and please subscribe if you like to stay up to date on the housing market. First, let's talk about why publicly marketed homes typically sell for more than homes that were sold off market. When you're selling your home, the best way to maximize your chances of getting the highest selling price is to publicly market the home to the largest number of home buyers so that you have the greatest chance of finding the most qualified buyer that is willing to pay you the highest price. So let's say you're about to list your home for sale, and in the marketplace, there are 10 buyers out there looking for a home just like yours. And if 10 of these buyers know that your home is for sale, they're all going to come write an offer on your home. And the range of potential offer prices that these buyers could write, it could be, a $100,000 difference between the buyer that writes the lowest offer and the buyer that writes the highest offer. So if you're selling your home off market, you're only negotiating with one of these buyers. So the chance that that buyer is the one that's going to write you the highest offer is fairly low. So when you market your home, the larger the exposure you get, the higher your odds are of getting the highest price. So let's say you market your home and 4 buyers know that your home is for sale, you're going to get 4 offers. So now your odds are a little bit better. However, if you market the home really well and you hire a realtor who does a really great job, has a really great marketing strategy, and all 10 of these buyers learn that your home is for sale, you're going to get 10 offers. So now you've got the widest range of potential buyers, and you get to pick the most qualified buyer that's willing to pay you the highest price. By receiving multiple offers, you also give yourself a lot more leverage in the negotiation. Now, there may not always be 10 potential buyers out there in the marketplace looking for a home like yours when you decide to list it for sale. But in most housing markets, if you price your home correctly and you have a really great marketing strategy that's going to get that home out there to the general public, then you have a pretty good chance of receiving multiple offers. And when you do get multiple offers, this completely changes the dynamic in the negotiation. It goes from being a one-on-one negotiation between the buyer and the seller, where of course the buyer is going to try to negotiate the best possible deal for themselves. And it switches and it becomes a bidding war type of a situation where the buyers are competing against each other to win your home and get their offer accepted over everybody else. And of course, price isn't the only thing that's important in a real estate deal. So, when you get multiple offers, that also gives you a higher chance that you're going to be able to negotiate terms that are more favorable to you, including, length of time on contingencies, potential rent backs, contingencies for you to go out and buy a replacement home. All of these things become easier and more likely if you have more offers and more buyers to choose from. And that way, we can structure the deal in a way that is the most favorable to you. Now let's talk about some things to consider if you are contemplating doing an off-market sale. And really there's kind of 2 general categories of off-market sales that we can talk about. And the first category is a seller who has hired a realtor And for one reason or another, either the buyer wants to or the realtor is suggesting not publicly marketing the home in the multiple listing service and instead trying to sell the home through some type of private networking group. Typically, this would be by marketing the home only to agents who are within their own brokerage. And so in this instance, you are severely limiting the number of buyers who are going to know that your home is for sale. And in these cases, you're still most likely going to pay roughly the same amount in commission and fees as you would if you were to publicly market the home on the multiple listing service. Now, the benefit to doing it this way is if you do happen to be a very private person and you don't want the general public knowing that your home is for sale, or you don't want other people walking through your home to take a look at it, then this is a route you could go. But just keep in mind, you have to go into this understanding that you are most likely not going to sell it for the highest possible price, and that amount of money could be fairly significant. Now, the second category of off-market home sales are the investor flippers and the iBuyers, the big companies that try to buy your home before you put it on the market, and then they're going to turn around, maybe do a little bit of work on it and turn around and try to sell it for more money. Now, in these cases, their big selling point in most of these deals is that you can avoid paying some of the fees and commissions. And while this may be true, what's most important to you as a seller is not how much fees you pay, it is the net bottom line of how much money you're going to walk away with at the end of the sale. So for example, maybe you do save $40,000 in commissions, but if you sold your home for $80,000 less than you could have, at the end of the day, you're walking away with $40,000 less than you would have if you hired a realtor and sold it on the multiple listing service. So you really need to understand what your home could sell for if you were to publicly market it. So my offer to anyone out there who is considering doing an off-market sale, as long as you're not already, under contract with somebody, is to give me a call. I'm more than happy to talk with you, take a look at your home, show you what the most recent home sales are in your neighborhood, and give you my opinion of what your home would sell for if it was marketed publicly in the multiple listing service. And then you can have a better understanding of, which option is best for you at that time. So if you have any questions about anything we talked about in this video, please give me a call or send me a text. More than happy to help you out in any way that I can. And again, if you enjoyed watching this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, and please subscribe if you like to stay up to date on the housing market in Southern California.